It's time to embrace your Sim's inner werewolf, literally, because if you don't embrace it, then it will embrace you with a fury-induced rampage. Anyway, we're going to look at what every werewolf power or ability does, and you will need the Werewolf Gain Pack for access to werewolves. I'll also be giving every power a rating out of 5, and this is absolutely based on my opinion, so feel free to disagree, and I would love to hear your favorite werewolf abilities in the comments down below. Also, a quick thing to note is that generally using werewolf abilities will raise your werewolf's fury, with some exceptions of course, but I won't call this out repeatedly. Let's get started now with the pup powers, the first of which is Ferocity. This will allow your werewolf to use the Ferocious Intimidation ability on other Sims, which makes them scared and yourself playful, and it will actually cause the target Sim to run off the lot, so it's a great way to get rid of Sims you don't like. I mean, I know what I'll be doing the next time the welcome wagon comes. What's more is that there's a chance Sims will drop their wallet when you terrify them, netting you a few hundred simoleons. I think this is an awesome ability and it's a lot of fun to use, especially for a more aggressive werewolf playstyle, or for like if you don't plan on working and need some income. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Next up is Wolf Nap. While you can't use this ability when your Sims are rampaging, outside of this, you'll be able to curl up for a nap absolutely anywhere in both human or wolf form. At night, the Wolf Nap option will change to become Sleep Under the Moon. If you're around multiple werewolves with the power unlocked, then you'll sometimes even be able to wolf nap or sleep under the moon together. Overall, it means that you won't need a bed, which is very handy, especially since whenever my werewolf rampages, they would scratch up their bed. Also, there is something so satisfying seeing your werewolf curl up by the fireplace, so I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. The third pup power is Territory Marking. With this, your werewolf will be able to mark their territory wherever they like, essentially seeing them pee on the floor somewhere, relieving their bladder, and filling this need bar. In human form, this will see your Sim take a hit to their hygiene need, and if your Sim is seen, then they will also understandably become rather embarrassed to be caught urinating with their pants down in front of another Sim. Another reason to do this in private is because if Sims are watching on, you'll take a hit to your relationship with them. Can't quite work out why. Note that if you mark your territory in wolf form, then your Sim won't become embarrassed even if seen, and their hygiene need won't take a hit either. While this is a really simple ability, it does let me pee in highly inappropriate but satisfying places, and absolutely delivers on the chaotic energy, which I really do love, and so I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5. Moving on to Scavenger. This is a simple but awesome power that allows your werewolf to scavenge the ground. Doing this provides a chance to dig up collectibles such as metals and crystals, and if you're in the Moonwood Mill world, then you'll also be able to dig up werewolf books and Moonwood relics. It's a bit of fun, and it's also very handy for collecting and making a bit of side money. Also, if your werewolf goes on a rampage, forcing them to keep scavenging the ground can be a productive way to make them channel their rage and prevent them from breaking and scratching all the furniture in your home, which we love. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. The final pup power is Personal Grooming. This will allow you to simply click on your werewolf in either their human or wolf form and choose to groom self, licking away the dirt. Just keep in mind that if regular Sims spot you licking yourself, they will be like, "Girl, what are you doing?" and you'll take a hit to your relationship with them. Likely because they will think you've lost the plot and not be impressed with the underarm licks. Of course, other werewolves will think this is totally normal and won't mind at all. Overall, I'd give this a 3 out of 5. It's definitely handy, especially for if your wolf has temperaments that means they hate getting wet and thus hate showers and the conventional hygiene life. It's also a very quick way to fill up your hygiene need. We're moving on to the rank 2 runt werewolf powers now, starting with Voracious Hunger. Nom nom nom. I love this ability, and in short, this allows you to literally eat or devour just about any object to restore your hunger need. I mean, why grab food from the fridge when you can just eat the whole fridge? Quite frankly, half the time I can't be bothered having my werewolf cook dinner, so I buy them another 30 simoleon chair to eat, which they absolutely love. Not only is this great for storytelling, but I just find it so much fun. Devouring objects can occasionally leave your sim with a happy moodlet or an uncomfortable moodlet because, you know, toothaches. Also, you don't have to own the furniture to devour it. Have a sim you don't like? Well, head over to their house and literally eat their living room. I am so here for it, and I'm giving this ability a 5 out of 5. Next up is Hunter. Taking this ability allows your werewolf to hunt for food, whereby they will disappear into a rabbit hole for a short while and return with some neatly plated raw meat in their inventory. You can either eat it raw, which will give your werewolf a happy moodlet, or use this to cook some more appetizing dishes. I might be being a little harsh, but I'm gonna give this a 1, just because it's rather boring and doesn't really add much gameplay, especially when I can just pick up Devour and eat chairs and terrorize other sims' homes. I will say that it is an easy ability to spam to get more werewolf ability points though, which can be handy. The third runt power is called Will to Resist, which is something I need for ice cream, but that's another story. Having this will mean that when your sim goes on a rampage, they will have the option to try and regain control. And if successful, their rampage will end immediately, whereas if it fails, then they will continue the life of wild terror. The higher your werewolf's rank, the better chance that this interaction will be successful. This can be very handy if your werewolf rampages at an inconvenient time, or during a full moon when your werewolf's fury raises ridiculously fast, and I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. Moving on to Enhanced Smell, and this synergizes well with the Scavenger ability. As you would expect, you can activate this power by clicking on the ground or on your werewolf and choosing Smell Here or Enhanced Smell. If you smell the ground or an area in the Moonwood Mill, then you'll often see a smell mark appear on the ground, and if you then use the Scavenge Ground ability on that smell area, you'll find a Moonwood Mill relic or a werewolf book. Note that this only works in Moonwood Mill, but there's more to this ability. If you use it around occult sims, then a trail of smell will follow them, revealing what kind of occult they are. For example, mermaids have a blue trail with bubbles, while aliens have a purple aura with green speckles. Spellcasters have a multicolored scent that sparkles, and vampires have a dusty pink glow. Other werewolves will have a red aura. Using this near sims can also see your werewolf gain various moodlets depending on a sim's scent, which can be tied to their mood. Often regular sims smell good and provide a happy moodlet, whereas spellcasters may make your werewolf dazed, and vampires will see your werewolf rage with anger. I really like how this power has quite a few different uses, and I think it just scrapes a 4 out of 5. The final runt power is Somber Howl. I believe this can only be used every 24 hours, and in short, it will just lower your werewolf's fury by about 40% of the fury bar, or circle. I guess it's a circle. It can also give your werewolf a sad moodlet. It's definitely handy to have for a more passive werewolf playstyle, but it's not game changing, so I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. It's now time for the rank 3 prime powers, starting with Lunar Blessings. Now, different phases of the moon cycle will grant various added bonuses at night. For example, sleeping during a new moon grants werewolves an energized moodlet for 12 hours. A waxing crescent moon increases skill gain from fitness activities. A first quarter moon gives increased relationship gain and loss. And a waxing gibbous moon will increase werewolves' fighting prowess. The waning gibbous moon will increase handiness, while the third quarter moon will increase relationship gain. Finally, the waning crescent moon gives a boost to logic and reading. Picking up the Lunar Blessings power extends these boosts from being just at night to being throughout the daytime too. I know what you're thinking, what about the big one? The full moon that causes fury to increase incredibly fast and almost guarantee your werewolf goes on a rampage. Well, you'll be pleased to know that this isn't affected, so picking up this power won't make your werewolf rampage in the middle of the day. Overall, I'm giving this power a 2 out of 5. I don't mind it, but I just think that there are better options out there. Moving on to Night Vision. Now, around Moonwood Mill, there are underground tunnels that have 3 entrances, being the ground level bunker, the sewer gate, and the sparring grounds portal potties. You can explore these, and doing so will grant various objects. It can also see you discover how the tunnel entrances are connected, which will then allow you to fast travel between them. In short, the night vision ability will make your explorations more successful. This being said, my werewolf struggled to find how the tunnel entrances were linked even with the power enabled, so I definitely recommend getting this before even trying to explore the underground. The second part of this power is that it makes hunting at night faster. Normally hunting will take an hour, but with this enabled, hunting at night will only take 30 game minutes. Overall, it's an okay power, but I just wish exploring the tunnels was even easier with it, so I'm just giving it a 2 out of 5. Next is natural healing, which allows your werewolf to recover from injury much more quickly. I tested this by getting involved in some werewolf brawls. Without the ability, a loss meant my werewolf got a 4-hour dazed moodlet and sometimes a battered and bruised 4-hour +2 uncomfortable moodlet as well. With the ability, my werewolf still got the dazed moodlet and the uncomfortable moodlet. However, the 4-hour uncomfortable moodlet cleared in just 1 hour and 20 game minutes, meaning that healing is around 3 times as fast. Overall, these moodlets aren't that much of a pain to begin with though, so I'm just giving this a 1.5 out of 5. The fourth prime power is Pack Howl, and it's very simple. Your wolf howls and you hear some howls in the distance and your social need will be filled by a bit. It's a particularly handy ability for loner werewolves, but overall it's a bit basic, so I'm just giving it a 2 out of 5. The final prime power is Curse Bearer. This ability will allow you to turn other sims into werewolves. It starts with giving another sim a cursed bite, which will give them both the scared and uncomfortable moodlet. And what will follow is a lot of uncomfortable moodlets as the curse takes hold. Your sim's hunger need will constantly plummet. Eventually your sim's arm will start to glow red, and then their eyes will start to glow red, and not long after they'll become a werewolf. And you might have expected it, but they will start their werewolf life rampaging. I'm giving this a 3 out of 5. It's time now for the rank 4 veteran abilities, and we're going to kick things off with Vicious Howl. Using this skill will make nearby sims terrified before they run away and cower in fear. It'll also damage your relationship with them. As for your own wolf, well, performing this will activate the Werewolf Menace dormant ability, and from then on out, they'll become playful when viciously howling around other sims. It's good for storytelling and a bit of fun, but really not much else, so I'm giving this a 2.5 out of 5. Next up is Hunting Party, which does require the Hunter ability. In short, this just lets you bring along other sims when you go for a hunt, and instead of just you returning with raw meat, everyone will return with raw meat. Also, humans will return scared, while you will likely return energized as a werewolf. Honestly, I just found this ability to be rather bland, so I'm giving it a 1 out of 5. The third veteran skill is Lunar Resistance. Rather than a tense moodlet, this will give your werewolf a happy moodlet as the full moon approaches, and their fury won't spike during a full moon and send them into a rampage. It's a must-have for a friendly werewolf that you want to keep under control and rampage free. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. Moving on now to Tunneler, and this will require your werewolf to already have the Scavenger ability. This allows your werewolf to fast travel anywhere by burrowing through the ground. It's super handy, but know that it can't be used indoors. I've always been a big fan of getting from A to B in an instant, and so I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. The final veteran werewolf power is called Primal Instincts, and this allows you to click on your werewolf and activate their primal instinct. There is no cooldown on this, and it will provide you with a confident +4 moodlet for 30 game minutes, while also making nearby sims hate you. I'm going to give this one a 1 out of 5 because I just expected a bit more here, and by a bit more, I mean a lot more. Now get ready for the rank 5 Apex Werewolf powers, starting with Super Speed. As you might have guessed from the name, this allows your werewolf to travel incredibly fast, and it's very reminiscent of Vampire's supernatural speed power. It's both practical and can be good for storytelling, so I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5. Alpha Wolf is next, and this is very helpful for if you love fighting or for if you want to take control of a pack. Firstly, having this power will mean your werewolf will do much better in fights. You know, Greg might only beat you up half of the time instead of all the time, which we love. Next is that if you join a werewolf pack, which can be done by befriending a pack leader and then passing 3 trials, then this will help you to advance in the pack faster. In short, packs have a range of activities that help you progress and rank up, and this will mean that each activity you perform will fill the progress bar more than it would without this ability. Finally, if you're power hungry and you want to take control of a werewolf pack, then you'll need to challenge the leader for alpha rank, either through a tug of war or a brawl, and this ability will help you to win that. Overall, I really like this, and I think it's pretty useful, particularly for if you want to live the werewolf pack lifestyle. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. Moving on to the Immortal Wolf power, which does require you to have the natural healing ability. This one is interesting in that it will mean that your wolf is literally immortal in the sense that they cannot be killed. Seriously, I tried to burn my werewolf to death like 5 times and they were just coming out the other end unscathed. The flip side is that if you have aging on, then your werewolf will continue to age, meaning they will eventually pass away unless you play with aging off or find another way to stop them aging. I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. Next up is the Lunar Howl power, which might just be my favorite out of all of them. Now, as you play and rank up, you will get random red temperaments which influence your werewolf, oftentimes causing fury to be gained faster under certain circumstances. They can also cause negative moodlets, and in some cases, for needs to be drained faster as well. The Lunar Howl power can be used once per night, and it reshuffles these temperaments, removing your existing ones and giving you 4 new ones. And this power will also give you a chance to get some blue temperaments. Unlike red temperaments, blue temperaments will often slow down a specific need's decay and lower fury gain. I really love this power, and I think it's almost a must for any werewolf as it allows for temperament customization. Just keep in mind that using the Lunar Howl ability will max your werewolf's fury and send them into a rampage. It's one of my favorite abilities, and I'm giving it 5 out of 5. The final ability, if you can call it that, is called Legacy of the Lycan, and this just turns an ability point into 250 satisfaction points. It can be handy for if you already have all the powers that you want, but it doesn't add a lot gameplay wise, so I'm just giving it a 2 out of 5. Now you might have thought we were done, but we are not. We're moving on to the 6 dormant powers. These are a little different, as all but one can be unlocked at any rank, but rather than being unlocked through ability points, they are unlocked by your werewolf acting in a certain way or performing certain tasks. First up is Werewolf Empathy, and this is unlocked by reaching Delta rank of a pack. You can do this by befriending a pack leader and then passing 3 trials to be accepted into a pack, then participate in relevant pack activities until you fill the progress bar once. There are 4 werewolf pack ranks in total, and Delta is the second one. This power lets you pacify other werewolves, essentially resetting their fury. It can only be used on a werewolf when their fury is at least around 2/3 full and they start to glow red. I love how this is a power that you can use on others, and it's quite useful if you're playing on a lot with more than one werewolf, so I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Next, we're looking at Lunar Epiphany, which can be unlocked by reading werewolf literature. I found reading the Insider's Guide to Being a Werewolf will do the trick, and this can be dug up by using the Scavenger ability in Moonwood Mill. And if you've been digging in Moonwood Mill, then you'll likely have come across Moonwood relics. If you have unlocked the Lunar Epiphany skill, then you'll be able to decipher the engravings on them, revealing a rather long lore-based description. This is definitely for the lore lovers and opens up a fun and engaging world of storytelling, so I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. It's time now for Werewolf Mentorship. To unlock this, you'll need to be at least a rank 4 veteran werewolf and have another werewolf that's a friend. Then you need to use either the practice howling, share werewolf experiences, or pack mentor interactions on them to unlock this. After this is unlocked, then offering pack mentorship, which can be actioned on werewolves in your pack with lower rank than your own, will become stronger. It'll offer more werewolf ability experience and also leave the target with a confident moodlet. In addition to this, the interaction will now give a larger boost to your relationship gain with who you used it on. Overall, I think this sounds good, but in practice, the power is rather meh, especially because there's a cooldown on this interaction, and so I'm giving it a 1.5 out of 5. Werewolf Menace is next, and I'm conflicted on this one, as pretty much any werewolf interaction that terrorizes another sim, such as Ferocious Intimidation, will unlock this ability. Essentially, this means that your werewolf will find their interactions that scare other sims to be playful. It's cute and can be handy, but I can't help but feel that this makes it tricky to have a truly evil werewolf that gets joy out of terrorizing others. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 just because it's so easy to unlock to the point where there's almost no real choice as to whether you unlock it or not. The 5th dormant ability is called Werewolf Diplomacy. To unlock this, you just need to successfully ask another non-werewolf sim for werewolf sympathy, which is located within werewolf interactions. Note that for this to be successful, it can help to discuss being a werewolf and be friends with the target sim first. Using this on a non-werewolf sim will provide a small relationship boost and give them the werewolf ally trait. This trait makes it a lot easier for a sim to coexist and form positive relationships with werewolves, mainly because it means that they will no longer get freaked out and take a negative hit to their relationship or get negative moodlets whenever a werewolf uses their powers near them. Having this trait will also prevent a sim from getting a tense moodlet whenever they are around a transformed werewolf. Note that some powers, such as biting a sim with a cursed bite, will understandably still cause negative moodlets, and that sims with this trait will still get scared if they're near a rampaging werewolf. Honestly though, I really love this power, and it's particularly handy if you want a werewolf to date a non-werewolf. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. And the final dormant werewolf power is called Transformation Mastery. This is unlocked by not scaring anyone during a werewolf rampage, which is actually quite easy to do. If you're struggling, then you can lock your werewolf in a room, or alternatively, use the scavenging power to just have them keep digging throughout their rampage. The power will allow your werewolf to transform into and out of their werewolf form whenever they like, and it's very awesome, and I dare say it's essential for playing as a werewolf. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5 just because I can't really imagine playing without it. That being said, I almost wonder whether this really needs to be an unlockable ability rather than just a feature that all werewolves have. And with that, we're at the end. That's every werewolf power or ability explained and rated. Let me know what your favorites are in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed or found this helpful, then please subscribe and leave a like. I would really appreciate it, and have an amazing day. See you later.